Hey guys, it's Bluey G Tag, and today I am going to be explaining some scary baboon lore. So it all starts with this guy named Dave Thomas, which is I'm about to pull up on the screen. Dave Thomas was a scientist that wanted to build this science lab called Baboon Labs, where he built these big, gigantic, strong baboons. He had emergency lockdown stations in the hallways. I'm about to pull up a picture of it. This is where the scientists hid whenever monsters escaped or went somewhere. As you can see, there was hardly anything to do in there because it was such a compact space. So they put basketball goals and radios so then they could have something to do. They had this emergency door just in case if scientists were in the halls of that area and there was a lockdown and something escaped, they could all get in that hall and close both of those doors. But something happened and the other one wouldn't close and it got them all killed. A few days after the tragedy, they started finding black goo all over the science lab. Janitors tried to clean it up, but it just kept on coming back and no one knew what to do with it. One day after a meeting, a scientist found a puddle of goo and was curious what would it do if he touched it for some reason. I don't know. And the other scientists weren't sure about it and tried to tell him not to do it, but he didn't listen anyway. Then he touched it and he turned into black goo goo. Then the scientist began to become aggressive and all the other scientists were trying to run away. But then he got them and ate them all one by one before they could tell anyone. Then after that second tragedy, everyone started freaking out and trying to leave the science lab. Some escaped and some didn't. Most of the people who didn't survive went into the emergency stations. And that's why you see most opened and broken doors in the emergency stations when you go into that hallway. Most of the people who did escape went into the city and jumped the fences. But there was a worker working on the bottom part of the science lab. But Black Goo Goo found the hole that he was working in and got him. And left his body in the hole, and that became the monster we all know, Unknown. But little did the other scientists know that there was one more still in there, unaware about anything what just happened with the scientist touching the goo. The reason why he was unaware was because he was listening to his boombox that he had in his office. But he didn't know because no emergency sirens went off in the lab or anything, so he was still locked in on his music and his work. Black Goo Goo heard the music and followed the sound. Black Goo Goo smashed the door and ran after him. Black Goo Goo got him and killed him. But he left his body there. Then he became the monster we all know, Big Larry, often referred to as Boombox Man. The monster who killed the scientists in the hallway is later on called Meat Man, and here's why. Dave Thomas and a couple of other scientists was creating this baboon called Project 750. After creating the substance and putting it into a growing tube, they left the room for a couple of weeks. But soon as the baboon started growing its own mind, it was strong enough to bust through the growing tube, causing the escape sirens to turn on. The scientists immediately ran over to close the doors. But one door wasn't working, causing their deaths. The baboon wasn't fully developed when he escaped the growing tube, causing him to look like meat. So the scientists decided to name him Meat Man. Whenever the tragedy struck, Dave Thomas tried to stop the monster by shooting him. But instead of dying, he literally split in two. Because at the time, he was carrying a double-barrel shotgun. Then two Meat Mans formed. One was regular Meat Man and the other one was Meat Man Fast. The reason why they called the other one Meat Man Fast was because he was way faster than the original Meat Man. Dave Thomas's friend, the co-owner, was in his office at the time, totally unaware of what happened. Soon as Meat Man Fast formed, he immediately started running around, killing people. But Dave Thomas's friend was listening to the radio. Meat Man heard it and followed the sound, and made it to his friend's office, and killed him, later becoming the monster Fred. People were dying left and right in the lab. Dave Thomas immediately ran outside and jumped the fence. No one knows where he's at today. So there y'all have it, guys. The lore of Scary Baboon. If you love this video, please like and subscribe. It'll help out the channel a lot. I worked very hard on this video. Peace.